What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Redemption with Jaden. Have you ever wondered, or have you ever thought to yourself, man, my dominants are just not cutting it. I wish I could just play my opponent's dominance as well. Well, the good news is that's actually possible. I found this combo maybe a couple weeks ago, and I've been kind of working on the deck, kind of brewing ideas for how it would work. I thought about, would this be better in a Type 2 deck? You know, I think there's potential there, but I really wanted to find a Type 1 version so I could easily, or more easily, feature it on the channel and show you guys this really cool combo that I think is viable. Not is I don't think it's super competitive, and once your opponent knows that it's possible, they'll probably be on the lookout for it. But if you can catch someone by surprise, this is actually pretty cool. So here's what we got going on. So Syrian invaders. It's an evil character from Prophecies of Christ. It says you may take a card from opponent's reserve or discard a fortress. Opponent may discard an artifact from artifact pile instead. Cannot be interrupted. So we can take a card, can be any card, from opponent's reserve, which means that it can be a dominant if we can get dominance into our opponent's reserve. Now, the way that the reserve works, you cannot start with dominance in your reserve. At least for your deck, for deck building reasons or rules, you can't start with dominance in your reserve, but they can end up there. There are a few ways to do this, on your end, I guess, House of Prayer. I could exchange one of my dominants from hand with the Bible icon from reserve. But to get forget your opponent's dominance into their reserve, that doesn't have quite as many options. But we do have both of them in this deck, and we're going to see how we can pull this off. So one of them is Flying Scroll. This is going to be the primary goal, because we really want to be able to play our opponent's Son of God. That would be super sweet. So it says the evil enhancement part, not going to use the artifact part, even though that's probably the more often used and maybe better part. But for this deck, we're using the evil enhancement, reserve a hero in battle, and a good card from opponent's hand. So basically, we just have to know, okay, do they have Son of God in their hand, or when are their good dominants in their hand, and can we play this without giving our opponent special initiative to negate it? The other option is to use his name, which is kind of the same thing, but it's the good enhancement version. So withdraw all evil characters, reserve an evil card from opponent's hand. So we can reserve our opponent's Christian Martyr or Falling Away, or both of them hit 3 woes, which is pretty sweet. Getting a 3 woes would be nice, but her dominants are unique, so you would not be able to have your 3 woes in play at the same time. So not quite as cool, but so yeah, these are our 2 options for getting the dominants into their reserve. So the next part is opponent may discard an artifact from artifact pile instead. So how do we deal with that? We gotta get rid of their artifacts, right? So there's a few ways to do that. Persian Horseman can draw 2 or discard an artifact. So this one it takes out face-up artifacts, unfortunately. So if they've got a bunch of face-down artifacts, Treasures of War doesn't do that either, but it's another way to hit. If they just have their 1 artifact face-up, that works. But hitting face-down artifacts, that one's a tricky problem. But we have the answer. Split Altar is a National Redemption promo, or National Redemption Tournament participant promo from, I don't even know what year it was released. It's been out for a while, but for a good number of years. Yeah, you can even tell. I mean, it's on the old card face, so it's at least 5 years old. Definitely more than that, though. But for a number of years after it came out, it was found out that oh, this card doesn't actually work like we thought, because didn't think that we could let it target face down artifacts, because the default is to cards that are, I guess, face up in play. I think I don't remember what the exact ruling was, but the rule changed within, I think, the last few or couple years, that it does target all face down artifacts as well, because if it targets all cards in a location, then it also targets face down cards of that type. So shuffle all artifacts of each opponent into owner's deck, and then you may play the next enhancement cannot be negated. So yeah, that's pretty sweet. We can wipe out all their artifacts, and then what we have to do is we can create a side battle. So either Sword of the Lord is one way to do it, make two evil characters fight each other, or Vision, select one of your evil characters to fight a blocking evil character. And then this one also prevents special abilities on opponents' enhancements during that battle. So this is a way to ensure that we wipe out their artifacts and then don't give them a chance to play another one. And then we choose our Assyrian invaders to fight some other evil character or something so that invader's ability goes off, and we take a card from their reserve. So that's pretty much the entire combo, but there are also ways that we have to, there's definitely a lot of setup and a lot of other, like, things that we kind of have to account for. So I guess first I'll just mention, I mean, there are a whole bunch of ways in here to look at your opponent's hand, because you have to know when the dominants are there so you can time the flying scroll and his name correctly, I guess, so that you can, get the most amount of damage. If you can hit their Son of God, then that's awesome. If you can hit their Falling Away or something, that would be pretty sweet too. So timing is everything, which is why we've got Sorrow of Mary in reserve, which can be played on false leaders, hopefully multiple times. We've got Lying Prophet as a blocker. We've got, let's see, his name, or obviously like Flying Scroll and his name, look at opponent's hand, so like you can, if you're just kind of hoping you hit something with one of them, and then the next one you're set up to go if there's an evil card that you want or a good card you want, whatever. The First Sacrifice also underdecks an evil card from opponent's hand, so this is a pretty sweet card by itself. I mean, just taking out your opponent's battle winner or something to, or like one of their two evil enhancements with Jeremiah, they're like, because he tosses the next, like, that's pretty sweet. And not to mention Jeremiah is another way to look at your opponent's hand. We've got a couple of star abilities, Emmaus Road and Balaam's Prophecy, both let you look at your opponent's hand or reserve, which is another important thing. I mean, like, if they start out with something in their reserve, then like that you might want to take, can't be a dominant, but might be some other pretty cool or nasty stuff in there. So looking at their reserve isn't bad, which is actually why we have New Covenant in our reserve. So it is one of the very few battle winners in this deck. You'll notice, like, I mean, it's definitely a combo deck because there really aren't that many battle winners directly. It's kind of just like, hopefully you win battles through hand control, and hopefully you can take your opponent's Son of God or Angel of the Lord or something to win a battle or something. But New Covenant, it can, ideally, you can get it out early when they don't have any heroes to resurrect, and you can activate it as an artifact to discard an evil card from a player's reserve, so your opponent's reserve, to resurrect their human hero. I mean, if you really need to, you can discard an evil card from your reserve and resurrect your hero, but ideally, you'll just be doing this right away to see what your opponent has in reserve. Make note if there's any, like, super important cards or like cards that you wouldn't mind taking if you can't get it set up to take a dominant. Vain Philosophy, dominant that looks at opponent's hand, kind of an underrated dominant, but I mean, with so many good dominants now, I can understand why it kind of went to the wayside with Storehouse being so popular and stuff. So but it's definitely a super good card, can win quite a few battles, and it can win a battle in most games, is what I mean. But with Storehouse being so prominent, that kind of takes us to the next thing we have to consider with the combo. We have to find a way to deal with Storehouse. So we've got both Shipwreck and Three Woes for that. If you're playing the deck, remember not to play your Three Woes too early is good. You can play it as evil, because by the time you're going to need to be getting around Storehouse, then you'll be going past your upkeep, and you can just retarget to Storehouse. But yeah, playing it as good would might come back to bite you if you don't draw into your shipwreck. We also have Did God Really Say in here, because one, if you play it in battle, you can discard a card from your opponent's reserve. It's another way to look at it. And two, it negates a good or neutral card for an entire turn. So if you've got all the pieces that you need, you've got Persian Horseman that can take Flying Scroll from reserve, and then you've got one of the couple banding cards that are enhancements that I put in here for banding in invaders. If you want to do it all in the same side battle, then you can just play that before you attack and negate Storehouse for their entire turn, so you can reserve a card from their hand and then take it. So I guess, yeah, basically, if you haven't played Flying Scroll yet, if you still have to reserve a card, what you can do is you can create the side battle and make Persian Horsemen or Profane Daughters. You can make them fight another evil character that will give them initiative, and then take Flying Scroll from reserve, and then play Flying Scroll, and then reserve their good dominant, hopefully their Son of God or something. And then the nice part about playing it in a side battle is that there's no hero in battle to reserve, so they don't get special initiative. So you can do that, and then provided that they don't have a way to negate it, you can abandon your Assyrian invaders. So yeah, that's kind of the ways to deal with Storehouse. And then there's also a lot of just kind of speed stuff in the deck for getting set up. Joshua is in the reserve to grab with Covenant with Abraham, so he makes Balaam's Prophecy awesome, because you can basically draw up to 6 cards. Probably not going to be 6 in this deck because it's very defensive heavy. But Joshua also gives you House of Prayer access to your deck, so you can go ahead and grab your Split Altar, go ahead and grab your Sword of the Lord or your Visions or something, or even his name, whatever you need to get set up on the good enhancement side. And then he also triggers Urim and Thummim, which is another way to look at your opponent's hand, which I didn't mention before. And other setup cards, Emmaus Road, Offering Your Son, Delivered, just a bunch of ways to get artifacts and get your first sacrifice, get your His Name with Emmaus Road, all that. And then Foreign Horses for drawing, and Lying Prophet for hand look and draw, False Leaders for False Peace and Sorrow of Mary, and Treasures of War. And let's see, yeah, that's pretty much the gist of the combo. I guess another thing to mention, I included some ways to make sure that your opponents don't play their dominance if you can avoid it. If you try to prevent them from playing their Son of God or their Angel or their Second Coming or whatever, because I've got both Lacking Prophecy and Fall of Man here in reserve that can be grabbed by Persian Horsemen, Profane Daughters, and most likely Endless Treasures, that you can get that draw and just activate it right away. So yeah, Fall of Man, while you're rescuing or blocking, restrict players from playing dominance, and Lacking Prophecy, restrict all players with more than 4 cards in hand from playing dominance. So basically you just have one of these up for depending on the situation, and then you basically, Lacking Prophecy I guess is going to be better just because then they can't play it before or after battle either. And then once you take their dominant, then you can deactivate it, and bada bing bada boom, you just play them all. Another way to, I guess, not entice your opponent to play Son of God, I kind of thought about this when I was putting in the Lost Souls in the deck. I'm not running anything like Distressed or Humble or Punisher, where Lost Souls that your opponent would want to get off the table in before they attack or something, so like no dull. But basically everything, I guess like Remnant is kind of the exception. Like if I take a character, then they might want to use Son of God to negate Remnant so that they can get their character back. But in this case, I mean, Remnant is mostly going to be used to, it's like early on, take one of my heroes out if I don't have Covenant with Abraham or something. So I'm not going to worry about that too much. And I mean, having the flexibility, the option to take a character if I need to is, it's good there. But yeah, otherwise, these are all just like effects when drawn or put in territory, so that it's just like a one and done. Get me some extra speed, like with Lawless, Prosperity, or even Exiles to help me get set up. And then, get me set up and then just do nothing. Don't be a nuisance to my opponent so that they just, hang on to their Son of God until later in the game. And then Stumble is Lost Soul that it has the same if drawn effect. Definitely not going to see this in very many competitive decks, but I thought it was worth a try, worth a shot in this deck, because if drawn, you may reserve a good card from hand or underdeck a hero in territory. If you do, each other player must do the same. So if I were to just reserve a good card from my hand, which I can do like a hero or something that I can just grab back with Covenant with Abraham, or an enhancement that I can grab with Covenant or with House of Prayer, then it might have a chance to hit something in my opponent's hand that's pretty good, that's worth taking. And you do get to see it because it is specifically a good card, so you get to see what they reserve. So I thought I'd give it a shot. I don't know, there might be a better Lost Soul just for like consistency, just because they get to choose and they'll probably have a lot of good cards, and probably won't hit a dominant with this one, but who knows, maybe. With the evil characters, I should mention, like, there are just ways to make sure we get to the ones like Assyrian invaders. So we've got both Deceiver and Amalekite Slave here. Let me make sure that I'm putting those under myself. Deceiver and Amalekite Slave, both to get Assyrian invaders. Like Lurking can ban to both, either of them. Destroying Bands can ban to Amalekite Slave, and then you just search for Assyrian invaders. Or let's say your Syrian invaders died already, like you got them out early, you couldn't, weren't able to take anything useful, or maybe you did take something useful and you want to do it again. Then also have Necromancer in here to have an option for banishing the invaders. And Necromancer is probably also a reasonable side battle choice, or like opponent, just because it's got big toughness, so you can definitely be able to play first. You will pass, and you have to make sure that you don't have, there's no like human in either discard pile that's going to mess with your strategy. But being a 1/9, your opponent's not going to be able to just pass and die and not let you play anything. So I think one edit I can probably make to the deck at this point. This is after the game was played. Wasn't anything like super noticeably wrong with it, but Gomer could probably be cut from the deck. She's not like super important to the strategy. I was kind of thinking something like, Gomer banning 2 Assyrian invaders would allow me to have both brown and pale green in the battle with Assyrian invaders, but I mean that doesn't really matter because I don't want Assyrian invaders in the battle until after I've played Flying Scroll. So that Gomer could probably come out for something, maybe another hero. I did cut Isaiah out of the offense, or like the last 2 cards I cut from the deck were Isaiah and Accursed of God. So Accursed of God was basically just in here for the star ability to exchange with the curse and reserve. So it's just another way to get Flying Scroll out, and then also discard a hero cannot be prevented if a curse is in play as the evil enhancement side, or the enhancement part ability. So it was another like battle winning option. So maybe that could go in instead. But I also kind of like having Isaiah in here because he makes his name and the first sacrifice cannot be negated. Prophecies of Christ, Isaiah, I should mention. Yeah, okay. I mean, like, honestly, that's probably the only change I would make in the deck at this point. Maybe Stumble could come out for something else, but I mean, you guys can watch the game. Let me know what you think. Hopefully we'll get to pull off something cool here, and I do kind of want to try out the deck, more like on some other unsuspecting victims, but yeah, I don't know. I think, like, I mean, once you know about it, if you're watching the video, then you might recognize what's going on here and be able to kind of play around it, which I guess like emphasizes the importance of lacking prophecy in the Fall of Man and just making sure you're looking at your opponent's hand pretty consistently to make sure that you know when their dominants are there. So anyway, let's see the deck in action. We're going to take it out against Brad Gaillard. I've played a game with him on the channel before, so he's not necessarily new to the channel, but he's definitely a good player, and he's going to be trying out a new deck as well. It's going to be Musicians, Ruth, offense with a Syrian defense, and a Syrian, so gray. You gotta make that clarification. So yeah, it'll be fun to see what he's got going, and hope you guys enjoy the game. Alright, let's see if we can pull this off here. Go ahead and got a button down here. Draw 8. There we go. Alright, 2 Lost Souls. Got our kind of techie Stumble Lost Soul here. And Prosperity. So I think I want to go ahead and use the Stumble. I think I can go ahead and pop Elisha into reserve. Let's see. I'm not going to use any stars. He's got a star. Stricken. Protect all decks and reserves from opponents during the next battle phase. Okay. No, that should be alright. And he drew a Wicked Lost Soul, so what do I want to discard? A Prosperity is the question. So we're gonna put Elisha in the reserve. Do we want to discard anything to Prosperity? I mean, the answer is pretty much always yes. Don't know what I want to lose at this point, though. The Lying Prophet would be good to see his hand. But I might want to go first. Yeah, I guess if I go first, that's not too bad, because, I mean, if he goes first, then he can attack, and then all hands and decks would be protected from, no, it's just decks and reserves. But I don't think I would be able to draw. Yeah, because I don't think you can draw if your deck is protected from you. Yeah, let's just go ahead and we'll lose the False Prophet. We do have Necromancer in the deck too. If we ever need the False Prophet's ability. Ooh, Jeremiah is good because now I can go first and look at his hand during the battle, which is sweet. Definitely want to figure out what he's got in there. So I'm gonna go first. I guess I do have Vain Philosophy, so I could look at his hand that way. But since we have Jeremiah, we'll might as well just do that. So I'll put down Jonah. Not that. Wait, is it just opponents? Oh yeah, it is just from opponents, so he can still search. Which, that's whatever. Can activate book and do we need to get We have Jeremiah that we can attack with, so I don't think we need Angel of the Winds right away. We don't really have anything to do with Joshua right away, like no Balaam's prophecy or anything, so I think we'll just go ahead and get New Covenant before he has any heroes to resurrect. And we'll activate it. Let's see what he's got in there. Alright, foreign wives, unsuccessful. Naaman servant girl, hate wickedness. I guess I should look at all the cards, not just the evil cards, but ends of the earth. Boaz's sandal, so it looks like, yeah, devotion of Ruth. We're looking at a Ruth and Syrian deck, because he's got, yeah, Naaman's chariot and horses. Damascus, unsuccessful. A little bit of soul gen here. And some covenants. Okay, so I think we want to take out Naaman's chariot and horses, because basically that makes it so that he can't get that like auto block captain of the chariots, King Rezin, Damascus deal. And then we can always hit like unsuccessful and foreign wives next turn. I don't really mind if he resurrects a hero. But I guess the important thing right now is that there's not really anything in there that I'd want to take. So yeah, we gotta wait and put something in there specifically. Now I will go to attack and we'll go ahead and see what's in his hand. Nice part about going first is that it doesn't give him a chance to put down stuff like storehouse or other protection stuff. Oh boy. So no evil characters. We do have a second coming in the hand, so it's one of the targets for Flying Scroll. So hold on, everybody. It's good that it's not Son of God, because he's not going to play it right away. But, I mean, like I said before, we don't really have any Lost Souls except for Remnant that I'd want to take right away anyway. So let's look at what he's got for offense here. Protect from the first enhancement, Endless Treasures. Probably going to get something set up there. Probably a Golden Calf, I guess. Although he didn't have Golden Calf in his reserve, so... yeah, we'll... Alright, yeah, so he didn't have any evil characters, so we get the Wicked Lost Soul. And he did have, I think, Shared Meal was like his main battle winner. He had Boaz as foreman. Did he have Asaph in there? Did I see an Asaph? I can't remember what the other hero I saw was. I feel like it was Asaph, which would be a little weird. Well, I guess. Okay, so it must be like Ruth musicians. So, okay. He drew the Exile's Lost Soul, and he's taking Boaz's Sandal from reserve. Boaz's Sandal, at any time you can discard it to search deck or discover how for a Ruth hero. If he's during battle and evil character is blocking, you can add your Ruth hero to battle. So pretty much it's just a battle extender for your offense. Like if you go out, you win the battle, well, or I guess you go out, they use their battle winner to remove your hero, then you can use Boaz's Sandal to add a hero. The problem is that it requires an evil character to be blocking. So like if you already have it in, or like if somebody like if you already win the battle and then they play Christian Martyr or something to take out your hero, you can't just add a hero to battle that way like You Will Remain would let you to do. But there still has to be an evil character in battle and blocking. My favorite way that I've found to use the card is to use Isaiah, the new one from Prophecies of Christ that makes star cards cannot be negated, and then use this to search for Aminadab and add him to battle. Aminadab says if a meek hero is in play, you get to, I think, bounce or maybe top deck an evil card. So basically it's like that Ahimelech kind of band him in and bounce the evil character sort of thing, but like this is a pretty much a free way to do it. Anyway, back to the game. So yeah, Brad activated Endless Treasures. He underdecked it to take Unsuccessful from his reserve, which is smart. I mean, he probably wants to get it out there, so I can't discard it with the New Covenant. And then he gets to draw 2 from that. Now he's making a rescue attempt with Boaz Foreman. So we're going to block with the Deceiver. And the question, okay, so protect Ruth heroes in battle from the first evil enhancement played each battle. So that includes himself. He did say RA, so I'm assuming he's not banding. So I'm going to go ahead and go to my deck with Deceiver. Yeah. Question is, who do I want to get? So we can't really get anybody like too crucial yet, since we haven't actually put anything in his reserve. Although, yeah, so he had Shared Meal, which is an interrupt, so we don't want to just go Persian Horseman Flying Scroll right away, because he has a way to negate it. We could just get a Malachite Slave out to thin the deck a little bit, but I think I kind of want to save him in there for now. Didn't have any multi-brigade cards really, otherwise Necromancer would be a good block to just draw a bunch of cards. Yeah, this is a little bit tough, because I mean I really don't have anything aside from foreign horses. So maybe I just go with Persian Horseman and I get Flying Scroll out of the reserve and then just like not play it yet, but I can still draw 2. Yeah, I think that's what I should do. Oh. I think he accidentally put Unsuccessful back into his reserve. So yeah, he's just putting Unsuccessful back in his hand. So with Persian Horseman, I'm going to draw 2. And a Persian is in play, so I'm going to take an OT Brown enhancement from reserve, and I think we're just going to go ahead and get Flying Scroll. Yeah. So unfortunately, it reserves a hero in battle in a good card from opponent's hand, so it doesn't let me, or like, since it reserves the hero in battle, it does transfer special initiative. So I wouldn't just get to, I wouldn't just get to reserve a card in his hand and then die, which is what I would prefer to do. Plus, it would also transfer initiative normally because it's a 3/3 on my 2/2. Actually, so if I play Vain Philosophy and take out his, oh shoot, oh, his hero's protected from, so his hero's protected from being reserved with Flying Scroll because it's the first enhancement, but it would still transfer normal initiative, so we just gotta hope that he does have Storehouse. Okay, so Shared Meals is only interrupt or negate. It's Harvest Season, yeah, it doesn't do anything else, so So yeah, he did draw a storehouse, which we'll have to deal with at some point. But yeah, I'm just going to take out shared meal, and then hopefully he doesn't just play Second Coming to get Angel from his deck. I don't think he would do that, but maybe. And then yeah, Harvest Season doesn't really do anything if he plays it in battle, so sweet, which means that we can play foreign horses to interrupt his protect, and then because he has used the draw and search on Endless Treasures, then I can play Flying Scroll, and it will work. Oh, I guess it's only one foreman. We're close. We're almost there. I can smell it. And the best part about this now is that as long as he doesn't draw another interrupt, then we've got foreign horses on Persian horsemen. So next time we block with him, we can get to each his own and play it right away to get Flying Scroll back, and then I guess we'll be a 5-5 at that point, so we still have to get initiative there, but still. Alright, so you played Harvest Season, basically just Soul Gen card, and then you can also like get your own Lost Souls out so that you can draw, which is pretty sweet. Alright, so we did draw Balaam's Prophecy, which means we could get Joshua active, get him out and ready to go. Let's see, yeah, we reserved Boaz Foreman, so if we use New Covenant and resurrect his hero, then that's fine. So no star abilities, upkeep, I'll draw one from book. It might be, well, I mean, we've already got the card in reserve, so do I want to just take out Storehouse right now? Shipwreck was a really good draw. Did God really say it was also good? But, you know, Shipwreck is obviously the more permanent solution. So I'll activate Book, and we'll take Covenant with Abraham. Say what I'm doing for sure. Oh wait. Right, he put down Storehouse, so I guess I should have played Shipwreck before saying I was going to use the New Covenant. It probably would be fine if I'd, you know, just played Shipwreck now and then use it, but I mean, I guess since it's protected, I'm actually not sure if that works, if that like can technically activate and then not target. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it can, so we can just wait for now. He's just got foreign wives in there, which, I mean, we've only drawn 4 so far this turn, so it's okay to just you know, wait. And I don't remember if he drew the Deceiver or not, but it's fine. I'm not too worried about foreign wives at this point. So we do have the Deceiver. We do have, so that's a way to get to my Assyrian invaders. But he does have an artifact that he can discard instead at this point. So we do have to get to the Split Altar. Let's turn over the Endless Treasures and put that down. Did he have the Deceiver? I don't remember. We can just play Balaam's Prophecy after the battle. Yeah, let's go ahead and just play Shipwreck now. because like we're definitely going to need to take it out at some point. So let's do it before it matters, and then we can go ahead and go in with Jeremiah and yeah, let's make sure, see what he's got on defense now. Yeah, I'm actually sort of surprised with how many hand look stuff we got already. Like, I guess like Lying Prophet would have been another option. But okay, so he did get his Captain of the Chariots. So fortunately, I mean, I guess he doesn't have a unique Syrian to equip the Captain of the Chariots to anyway. He did have the Deceiver, I was right in remembering that, which is good. Because, you know, then he could just go to Foreign Wives and get that block. Does have Christian Martyr though, unfortunately, so it doesn't look like we're going to get a Lost Soul this time. He could just toss his Stricken for 5, because, yeah, toss the next evil enhancement. But if he's harmed, I can top deck him instead, and then I would get to just draw him with Joshua, which is pretty sweet. So, yeah, let's, Alright, so, yeah, because he would have to toss the first enhancement, he's just not going to block, because, so, yeah, if Jeremiah is harmed, except by a capture ability, I can top deck him instead. And then because a good card I own was top decked, I can draw 1. So I actually didn't even realize this combo right away, or like before in this deck. I knew that Joshua worked well with like Malachi, but yeah, Jeremiah working there is pretty sweet. So let's put down Profane Daughters, and let's play Balaam's Prophecy. We'll reveal to all the top 6. And we've got a Visions, that's nice. Ooh, House of Prayer, awesome. That means that next turn we'll be able to get Split Altar from deck, assuming that Joshua sticks around. And then a couple of Lost Souls. Do we want to draw these Lost Souls right now? I mean, so they all go on top. So I basically could just draw all of it except for Destroying Bands. Yeah, I don't really mind drawing the Lost Souls. And I guess we don't really need Visions, so oh, I guess I get to take a star card. So let's take so we can take that one, we can send the rest to the top, and don't shuffle, and then draw 2. Keep on mistyping his name. So boop boop. Then we got Lost Soul, and Destroying Bands. Yeah, I don't know if everyone knows about this interaction yet. So basically, Balaam's Prophecy, because it reveals the top 6 cards of a deck, and then it top decks them. So Joshua triggers for each card that's top decked. So when you top deck, you know, two good cards, like in that case. Um, then you get to draw for each good card. So yeah, basically it's like Balaam's Prophecy just becomes like a draw up to 6, which is pretty nuts. So I will use, I don't think I want to grab anything with exiles. Well, maybe I can grab the Fall of Man. Yeah. Sure, why not? So we'll go ahead and go hunting into the deck, and I think I'll just go ahead and grab, just go and grab Remnant. Yeah, I don't think I really want to get anything else. That's the problem with using Hunter in this kind of deck, I guess, is that there aren't really any like permanent lost souls like Distressed or something like that, or like Humble, that you just, you know, can always just go for, just because pretty much everything is like if drawn, except for Exiles and Remnant, which I mean is enough for a combo deck like this. So that, I think I'll just go ahead and take Elisha. I don't really care about his ASAP. And, oh, that's supposed to go into my hand. I'm not going to do like it's unsuccessful. Now we got a bunch of cards to put down. So let's put down House of Prayer. Can put Jerry back down. Can put Elisha back down. I don't think he's gonna have any sort of like side battle board wipe kind of thing, so I'm okay with putting my heroes down for now. Do I want to go ahead and just play Delivered to, I mean, nah, I've got Endless Treasures here and Book of the Covenant here. Oh, but I could activate Urim and Thummim and then activate Endless Treasures. Yeah, sure, let's just go for it. You know, as long as we're already just going all in, we're just gonna keep going all in. So I'm gonna activate that. Reveal to all and shuffle. Yeah, I don't really care about looking at his hand again. I do have a High Priest Joshua, but I can deactivate this artifact and activate a different artifact. So I'm going to turn this over, and we'll activate Endless Treasures, send to the bottom of deck, and we'll activate Lacking Prophecy from reserve. And draw 2. Okay, so we could just go ahead and get Endless Treasures back, which is, I think, what we want to do, just because we have so many other cards in hand right now. Bottom card, look at that. And this goes into deck, and we just shuffle. pretend like we searched. We're gonna turn this over and put it down. I do have to remember this also restricts me from playing dominance, so like Angel of the Lord, Son of God, can't do those right now. But I'll also put down the Fall of Man, and that puts me at 8, so now we can pass. Alright, so next turn, we're going to have Son of God in hand. We're going to have, hopefully, his Second Coming in hand as well. But we'll see. We do have to get to Split Altar with House of Prayer. Alright, he's using his Harvest Season. I'm assuming he's going to play a Lost Soul from his own deck so that he can draw. Yep, and so he's getting Distressed because then he's negating my Jonah and my Joshua, unfortunately. But that's alright. We can just rescue that with Son of God next turn. Oh, I guess he drew Distressed. Okay. Yeah, he drew Distressed during his turn, so now he's using Harvest Season to search for something else. So yeah, I guess Distressed was a nice draw for him there then. But he would have been able to get it anyway. Harvest Season, it seems like a pretty decent card. I don't know if I would necessarily use it in a Ruth deck because you already have a lot of other utility stuff like the preparing to return, like bouncing your David and that kind of stuff. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. He's doing Remnant. Ooh, I hope he doesn't take my Joshua. That would be sad. Because then I won't have him for my upkeep because I won't be able to play Dominance. So I can't just play like Son of God to rescue his Remnant. We'll see. Maybe he wants someone from his reserve. I guess he already drew the card. To be technical, he would actually use Remnant before drawing the card because using the ability on Remnant is part of playing the Lost Soul. So I'll just let him know quick, but it's not a huge deal. Okay, so yeah, he took my Jeremiah, he put down Kenaniah, and he's using Hannah, which which is not great with lurking. So yeah, Hannah reveals my hand and draws X, which is kind of like she's like the good equivalent of like Damsel, Lying Prophet, that kind of thing, where she draws based on the number of evil brigades revealed. Since I have lurking in hand, that means I have 7 good evil brigades. So he's going to be able to draw 7. Which is not great, but he also decided to wait on the attack, so maybe he's not going to go in with Hannah, maybe he's going to do something else instead. But yeah, Kenaniah is also pretty good. Protect musicians from the special blade on the next evil enhancement. Played this battle and maybe add to a musician. And pretty much, it's definitely an auto include in any musician's deck. Which, I mean, I guess Hannah is also just because like you don't really have a whole lot of drawing with musicians. Most of it's like searching with stuff like Music Leader and like Love Righteousness. Oh, okay, he just wanted to activate Boaz's Sandal before his attack, so I'm guessing he's probably going to do the same thing, which is unfortunate. We might just have to negate Hannah with Did God Really Say? Maybe? Oh, but okay, so if he does draw into Son of God, he's going to be able to draw 7 cards, and then I can block with Persian Horseman and grab To Each His Own, and then maybe play Flying Scroll again. Ooh, that Let's see if he does it. I mean, the problem is that like Assyrian invaders. I mean, it works multiple times, but you only get to use split altar once. So if he has, other artifacts for the next time, then he won't get to. Um, he's obviously going to discard his artifact instead of letting me take his Son of God. Um, oh, it's probably a good thing that he activated Boaz's sandal. Then now, well, wait, I think he already had it down. I think it was just face down. Yeah, because otherwise I could have just gone to Deceiver and did invaders. So it seems like he's not sure what he's going to do quite yet. So I actually kind of want him to attack with Hannah at this point, because he's going to have a lot of cards, which means he's not going to be able to play Dominance. Not that he can right now anyways, because he's got 7 cards in hand. But he's going to draw a lot of cards, and if he draws Son of God, I can reserve it, and I mean, just give him the freebie. That doesn't really matter. To me at this point, anyway. So you can't play Dominance right now, even during the battle phase, which is why it's different from Son of God. So he does have Son of God in his hand. Oh boy. Oh. But he can put... Oh man. He can put enough cards down. Darn. Alright, that's fine. I'm curious why he did that. I mean, like... We already played... I mean, like, Stumble wasn't really doing anything, and I already played Flying Scroll. So I am kind of curious why he did that. I mean, I guess because if he's going to draw a bunch from Hannah, then a Lacking Prophecy just sitting up, he wouldn't be able to play Son of God for a while. So I guess that makes sense. Still a little annoying, knowing that it was there. It was so close. So, yep, he gets to draw 7, which is not great because, with him sitting at 3 cards, we were kind of looking pretty good offensively, but, it's more about getting the combo off than doing anything, too crazy here. So, so he goes up to 7. Alright, so let's think about what to do here. He's protecting Lost Souls from evil cards. He's protecting his musicians from the special ability on the next evil enhancement play this battle. So, I mean, if I just block Persian Horsemen, then Foreign Horses would be the next card. So that's not a huge deal. I could grab Treasures of War, abandon Deceiver. So I play Treasures of War, abandon the Deceiver, and then I don't even have to worry about making a side battle. Ooh. Huh. Wait. Yeah, I can abandon Deceiver with Lurking. Doesn't work with destroying bands. Oh, man. Do I just go for it right away? I mean, I don't think he's going to have any way to get it out of reserve, but... I mean, he can't play Dominance, so, I mean, it's worth a shot, right? Might as well just do it, get it over with, right? This one is horsemen. This is plural. Man, I really don't know if I want to just tip the hand early or not. I mean, I guess, yeah, we just go for it, I think. It's really the whole goal, right? I mean, since he already played Son of God, then we don't have to worry about that. No. So, just hope we don't draw the invaders. Well, I guess if we drew the invaders, we can just ban them in straight away with destroying bands. So, but we do have to play Treasures of War first. So we got Treasures of War into play. I don't think there's really anything he can do here. So he can just use Bow as a sandal, but I can't think of any Ruth heroes that he could add that would mess things up. Do I want to negate his draw? Maybe we can do it after. Maybe. So yeah, he could have used Bow as a sandal before I used Treasures of War, I believe, just because since it's his turn, he has action priority, and since they're both like at any time triggers, yeah, I mean, I'll just let him use it because, I mean, it keeps my Treasures of War around. I don't think there's anything that he could do to stop it, hopefully. Fingers crossed. But, you know, we're not in a grindy tournament game here, so I'm fine with you know, letting him use it first. Let's see who he gets. I'm gonna guess David. That's gonna be my guess. But you know, can be any Ruth hero. He could go to discard pile, or wait, no. Boaz's foreman was reserved, so yeah, I don't think he's got any in his discard. Nope. So, and this way we can save treasures for when he has another artifact, and if we ever, you know, need to use invaders again. Ruth. Protect Ruth heroes from banish or discard and withdraw abilities. Good Ruth enhancements cannot be negated. Okay. That's fine. Yeah, I don't think I need to use, or want to use treasures on that. Uh-oh. He might be changing his mind. Does Boaz let him get cards from reserve? Into a Ruth, or may take a good Ruth card from deck or reserve if Ruth is in play. So yeah, no, that one's fine. Oh, okay. So yeah, he's using the J deck Boaz. Interesting. I guess, you know, it makes sense if he doesn't really need the other Boaz ability. Like, he's not super Ruth heavy, he's like musicians and stuff, so. Alright, so he drew, I guess, yeah, so what he did is he searched for Ruth with Boaz's Sandal, and then added Boaz to battle and bandaged Ruth. So now he's using Covet, grabbing a Lost Soul from my deck, which is fine. Still nothing you can do there, so I think this is the last ability before we finally get to do it. Yeah, I don't have any reason to banda his evil characters, and we needed the Deceiver to come into battle, so. So, next turn, barring any falling away shenanigans, we could probably deactivate Lacking Prophecy and use Angel of the Lord during the battle. Or we can use Son of God to rescue Remnant, get Jeremiah back, use Angel of the Lord during the battle, and then play Second Coming. Oh, I didn't really expect it to be quite this. I mean, I guess it wasn't like super easy, but I think all things considered, it was kind of easy. So we're gonna, I guess at this point we might as well get the Slave out. Right, because yeah, can get an evil human, which Syrian Invaders is. So we're gonna add Malachite Slave, which is not being negated by anything. And then add Assyrian Invaders. His reserve is not protected by anything. Wow. And he has no artifact to discard instead. And yeah, he didn't reserve Samuel, so it's not negating anything. So I think we're in the clear. I'll wait for the I8, but I'm just gonna go ahead and reveal it. I don't think I actually have to show him what I take, but since reserve is a known location, he can just look and like, you know, recognize that that's what I'm doing. So yeah, Assyrian Invaders is potentially awesome. Alright, so with that, 7-8, 2-2, 2-2, so 11-12, I think, got initiative here. Alright, yep, he said it's still my initiative, so I think I'm just going to play False Peace. Well, maybe I could have just hung on to it, because I don't really know what I want at this point. Oh well. Do I want to let Assyrian invaders die already? I mean, I guess I have Necromancer, so I can pull it off again. I think I kind of just want to get Elijah, and that will set up my attack for next turn. Make sure that we don't have any banding shenanigans that Angel of the Lord can't get around. Do I want to play Did God Really Say? I could negate all his drawing. Yeah, I think that's what we should probably do. So basically, he just, yeah, puts the 7 cards back. This is kind of one of those things that's, like, I mean, it's easy to do in Wacky because probably hasn't, well, I guess it depends on if you, like, keep your hand organized or something. Or, like, how organized you keep your hand. But, like, negating a draw ability like this where he drew 7 cards is a little, like, kind of sketchy to some people, like, especially people who come from other games and stuff, where, like, having to go back like that would not ever happen. But I think, I mean, it's, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. You just have something to be mindful in Redemption, is that, like, you know, keep your hand in order. If you are, like, drawing, so, like, if you draw in that phase, keep track of what cards you've drawn and by what. Like, don't really have to, well, I mean, like, yeah, I guess even keeping them in the same order, at least for that, is something you have to be mindful of. So, yeah. I'm not sure if Boaz would go back or not. What do we want to discard? I feel like either Hate Wickedness or Marriage Covenant. Marriage Covenant, I feel like, has the potential to do more damage, so. So yeah, I guess he had 3 woes in his hand, and since I put him down to back to 3 or I guess 4 cards because he drew 1 off of Boaz, then he can play. He can play 3 woes, so he's gonna negate Did God Really Say and get all the cards from Hannah back, which is fine. I guess, I mean, that would have been a nice target for his name to reserve next turn, but I think we're just going to be able to win next turn, unless he does draw a fall, or unless he has Falling Away, which he might not be able to play anyway. So, so yeah, with that, I think we're just going to let them all die, and we'll give up the Covenant. Oops, that was not supposed to be in mine. Alright. Look at that. Wow. So, what could he have still? I mean, I guess I do have to deactivate Lacking Prophecy in order to play all the stuff. So, if I want to play Angel of the Lord, then he is going to have a chance to play Falling Away first. Which, is fine, but it would be unfortunate if he did happen to draw it. I guess that... Okay, so if I do draw into Hidden Treasures or Offering Your Son so that I can search for Hidden Treasures, then I can play his name pre-block and see if he's got Falling Away. But I guess if I do go with Elijah, then that does give him Special Initiative first, because it withdraws all evil characters. Alright, well, we didn't draw into any way to play that. So, any way to play first with Hidden Treasures, so... what do we do now? What do we do now? I guess... No, we don't want to restrict players from playing dominance during battle. It doesn't really help. I want to be able to use Angel of the Lord. Do I want to use House of Prayer in my upkeep? No, I don't think so. Oh wait, I could get Offering Your Son. Okay. So what do I want to do? Exchange a card from hand, so I don't have to show what the card is. Doesn't really matter. I think I'll just yeah, do that. Ooh. Okay, that's fine. I'm actually just gonna take the first sacrifice. That's better. Because he can't play Dominance right now anyway, so he can't play Falling Away. So I can play the first sacrifice, see if he has it, and then deactivate Lacking Prophecy. So I might as well just play 3 Woes on Music Leader 2 to save time, I think, depending on what's in his hand. Nothing's protecting his hand, right? Yeah, no, okay. So yeah, he's using Music Leader. Basically, anytime I use a draw or search, except on a musician, he can search his deck or discard pile for up to 2 good cards that involve music. So, he's a musician deck staple right here. So he's grabbing Temple Dedication, which is also very good in music deck. I mean, like, the search is nice if you have some temple artifacts, or even if you're using Solomon's Temple, but the protection is obviously very strong, protecting from evil cards this turn, and then, yeah, Royal Parade makes sense. These cards are both very good. If you're making a musician music deck, definitely put those in there. Alright, so... now I will play the first sacrifice. Right, nothing's protecting his hand, nothing's stopping me from playing enhancements in territory. So, let's go take a peeksies. Yep, should be okay. I think. Yep, okay. Sweet. No. Wow, yeah, like nothing that stops Angel of the Lord, really. As long as we use Elijah to choose, like, Captain of the Chariots or something, because there's no evil weapon for him to equip. So, yep, I think we got it here. I'll Underdag unsuccessful, I guess. a.k.a. good card or reserve hero. Yeah, that's fine. Sweet. Let's turn this over, and do we need to activate anything? No, not really. Don't really want to search again at all, so yeah. No evil weapon to equip. So we'll just go ahead and do that. I guess I could have played 3 woes before the battle to negate Captain of the Chariot. Well, it can't be negated if Syrian King is in play, so yeah. So that was right. So yeah, that's it worked. We got the second coming. It's not Son of God, but you know, that's still pretty sweet. Functionally the same once we got our own Son of God, and we were able to rescue 4 lost souls in 1 turn, which is not really. I mean, like, it's not as easy as, you know, like the stupid the Soldier's Prayer or Solomon's Dream, you know, Gamaliel's Speech type card. I guess you can actually use Gamaliel's Speech, but, you know, the Lord delivers, or am I a dog or whatever to negate it. All that nonsense with that combo deck, which that was the other combo deck I've featured on the channel. Didn't actually play a game with it, but when I did an overview of it with John Early, and that got nerfed with a, you know, hard rules change, which is good because, I mean, it was basically just like breaking a rule that you know, existed there, that like there needed to be a rule there for that. It was just, it wasn't really a card combo where like Assyrian Invaders is like a card combo, but so like I think that this is probably legit. It's gonna stick around because it is kind of hard to set up, and like if you do set it up perfectly this way, then that's awesome. So yeah, I think it'll be alright, and I do have a Type 2 version of it built. I don't know if it would be quite as effective. I mean, you can use 2 copies of Flying Scroll, you can use 4 Syrian Invaders, you can use 4 Split Altars, so like maybe there's something there, but I feel like once you do it once you get the combo off, then your opponent's going to know what's up, and they're going to sort of be ready for it, like try to play their dominance and stuff, and you just kind of have to keep Lacking Prophecy up the whole time or something. But anyways, that's the deck, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this, enjoyed seeing a combo, because I really don't have a whole lot of combo deck videos or anything. Let me know what you guys think. You know, feel free to try out the deck, make any suggestions, and yeah, have a good one. Bye.